Hello and welcome to another Teacher's Corner. I'm Teacher Kirby, and today we're going to be discussing or continuing words, continuing the series about fleets. So this episode will be about what you can buy from the fleet Spire. Okay? Um, So there are a number of things you can buy from your Fleet Spire. As you see, I have transported here. I want to note right now that the layout and location of all the officers and things that you need to speak to purchase things are the same whether it is a Federation or KDF Spire. So I will only be showing one. Okay, so first of all, there are quite a few things that you can buy from the Spire. So first we're going to go over here to the left of the beam-in point, and you can see there is a tailor. There are certain costumes that are unique to the Spire. You can check those out. And of course those unlock as your Spire gets higher. There's also a requisition personnel officer. So this is a little different. This gives you a number of Voth duty officers that you can buy. They start at the uncommon level and go all the way up to very rare. And these, of course, have special abilities. Okay. And they are available for fleet credits. Okay. The other thing, there are active duty officer slots. You see here +1 active ground duty officer slot. There is also a +1 active space duty officer slot. I've already purchased it for this character, so it does not show up. Now what that means is when you open your duty officer and click on roster and you see the active space, you notice I have 6 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's because I've already purchased the +1 active space. Now if we look on ground where I have not purchased it, I have 1, 2, 3, and I have 1, 2 open positions. Okay, so that's a total of 5. So if I wanted 6, I would have to purchase this +1 ground duty officer slot, which I'm not going to do at this time. We'll come back and do it later. Alright, so this is our beam-in point. Alright, so that is our duty officers. Again, they're to the left of the beam-in point. Now, straight across from this area here with all these consoles is another thing. So we have quite a few things here. So first we have this is our ship selector. We don't need to worry about him. He doesn't sell anything. Hey, mouse, come on, work. Okay, so over here to the right of this area, we have, oh, and I forgot. Okay, so then we also have a requisition ship officer. He works just like any requisition ship officer, as you can see. So there you go. And hello, mouse, work correctly, please. There we go. And then we have on the outside, the outer 2 NPCs are the ones that we want. I'm going to talk to the security officer who allows me to requisition ground equipment. Now from the Spire, and again, this is going to, more will become available as your Spire reaches higher levels, which is again why it's important to donate. So there are kit modules. Okay, and the higher your Spire is, the higher mark kit modules you can get. Okay. And there's also, you'll notice, kit frames. So there's engineering, there's science, of course, and these are actually not bad kit frames to start out, or kit modules. These are actually pretty good for starters. And then we have tactical, so we can get kit frames and kit modules. Okay, we can also, and you notice these aren't, let me go back. So you'll notice these aren't all that expensive. So we have 42,000 fleet credits and 8,500 refined dilithium. All in all, that's not too much. If you wanted to save a bit, you could go for and spend upgrades instead. You could go for a Mark 11 and spend half as much. Okay. And of course, then we have our kit modules, same thing. Okay, kit modules are 18,000 with 3,400 refined dilithium. All right, and then heading over, we have our space equipment NPC. Now, this is something, if you follow, there's quite a few things you see here that are available from the store. You have, if you fly around a lot in the Dyson sphere, you'll notice there's atmospheric friction, okay, which slows you down. And so this atmospheric flight training will remove it. You also have some hangar pets that are only available from the Spire. Okay, so we have rare swarmers, very rare swarmers, and ultra rare obelisk swarmers. We also have some elite fleet singularity and warp cores. These are the singularity cores for Romulans. Okay, and advanced singularity cores for Romulans as well. Okay, some of these are actually quite good. And then we have elite fleet warp cores. Okay, and advanced fleet warp cores. Okay, and usually for DPS we choose one of these if we're not using a set warp core. Then we will use, where is it? Plasma integrated. No, actually, this isn't it. Might be advanced. Oh, there it is. Okay. Usually for DPS, we will use, where's the amp one? Amp. Okay. And okay. So usually, I believe it's under advanced, we will use, where is it? No, that's not it. Hold on. I know it's here somewhere. Well, anyway, usually we will use one of these for, there it is, right in front of my face. Usually we'll use this core for DPS if we're not using something from a set. So you can see we have 14,000 fleet credits, and 12,750 dilithium to buy this core, and this is available from the Spire. Remember that the higher your Spire goes, the more things that are available. So your Spire has to have these available. And then we have one thing you probably hear people talking a lot about if you're doing DPS, and that is the critical chance and critical severity consoles. So I've tabbed over to the critical chance consoles and the critical severity consoles. So let's go over the critical chance consoles first. These are usually the ones that people buy. They give a set amount of critical chance increase overall to your character. This applies to all weapons and things that, to all weapons and whatnot all abilities that you throw out. It also gives a bonus to your damage. Now we have the generic beams, which means it will add to your beam weapon damage. We have the generic cannons, which means it will add to your cannon damage. We also have the generic mines and the generic torpedo. After that, we start getting into the specific. So you'll notice there's a difference. The generics give you plus 27.9 to whatever their damage. The specific will give you plus 31.9 to that type of damage. And as you can see, there's all different kinds here. So we have AP, Quantum Disruptor, Photon, Phaser, etc., etc., etc. Quantum, Tetryon. So you can see there's all kinds. And these are quite pricey, or a little pricier than other things we've seen, at 50,000 fleet credits and 8,500 dilithium. The critical damage consoles, same thing, except instead of boosting your critical chance, it will boost your critical severity. So critical chance means it increases the chance for you to make a critical hit, and critical damage or crit severity means it increases how hard you hit when you get a critical hit. And same thing, now these consoles raise your critical severity by plus 8. Most people will use the critical chance consoles, except for very few exceptions. Okay, and that is actually all you can get from the Spire. So you have your critical chance, critical hit, advanced fleet warp cores, elite fleet warp cores, advanced fleet singularity cores, elite fleet singularity cores, the Spire hangar pets, and the atmospheric flight training, which will lower your resistance and your atmospheric resistance. And then of course your ground equipment, which was the kit modules and kit frames, some for every profession: engineering, science, and tactical. And then of course the duty officers, the uncommon, rare, and very rare duty officers, Voth duty officers, as well as the active duty roster or duty officer slots, which increase the amount of duty officers you can assign to space and ground tasks from 5 to 6. Alright, so that is what is available at the Spire. And next time we'll be going over what is available at another holding at the research lab. So keep looking for that. This has been Teacher Kirby. You can hear the discussion of Teacher's Corner live every Saturday night on the Pilot Review Show at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you like what you see, consider becoming a sponsor. Click that sponsor button below the video, or consider becoming a patron by clicking the Patreon link from the main page of this channel. And this is Teacher Kirby signing out.